Boo! Greetings, everyone. Oh, look at it, trying to find a face to lock onto. Where? Where will the Zoom lock on? Can it lock on? Nope, it's just not even gonna bother. Anywho, let's this here. I like how 7 people sat there through the intro, and then as soon as the show started, I was like, oh, this looks lame. I'm out. Anyway. Hello. It is very late. I almost didn't stream tonight because it's so late. It's currently Whoops, sorry. It's currently 1:48 a.m. Rose is away tonight at a friend's place, so I wanted to try to get at least some filming done. I mean, at the very least, I figure if we get that big stack of horror stuff done, I'll be happy. But yeah, as long as we get something done. Anyway, excuse me. Look at all this cool stuff here that I haven't put away yet. Look at all this cool stuff. Look at all this cool stuff that we got in a package yesterday that I waited far too long to open. I'm going to set this aside. We'll just put here for now. I'll just put a little shelf. That's good. Right out of the way. We got here. This is a mix of things. Got some horror, got some games, got a Doctor Who book. Should go over with my Doctor Who books. Let me see here. Oh, of course. It's a second Doctor book. My second Doctor novels are in the back row, so we're not going to go digging through there. Anyway. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little musical interlude for you. I don't know if that even picked up on camera, but if it did, I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we got Lisa Frankenstein. I need to watch that still. Watcher in the Woods. That's a rare one. This was sent to me by TNA Dan, who I haven't seen around for a while. Hope he's doing okay out there, wherever he may be. But, yeah. So I think that's going to be one of the package openings that you'll see later. So, cool. And some books. We're not going to do books today because there's just too damn many of them. I got a lot of books. Read till your eyeballs fall out. I got to organize all the books anyway, figure out what exactly we're going to be doing. And I think I left these lights on all night, though. The draped ones. Oops. I say oops because they're battery powered, so. Sorry, I didn't mean to start the stream just farting up a storm. Double deckers. God food. So good. Put these away. I don't eat them all immediately. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. What are we on here? Devil's Organ. Yeah, that was, the music was 3 selections from the YouTube audio library. I figured they'd be stream safe. So we got, the first one was Devil's Organ. I used that kind of just as the opening, very low-key piece. Very nice. And has kind of a gothy feel to it with the pipe organ and stuff. And then the second one, a little bit more faster pace, a little bit building of tension, is just called Tack. T-A-K. And then finally, the main sort of action-packed piece during the main titles is called Storm Chasers. And yeah, I think they suit the intro quite nicely. Now, let me see if I can... hold on. I can move this ever so slightly. Move it a little more. Yeah. Then I can move that table over. I have a little end table here that I got specifically for doing updates and stuff. And that is... And it looks... Oh. We got... Oh, it still has the tag on it. Anyway, that's cool. Anyway, it looks like this. Just a nice little end table. Kind of ornate. So. Pardon my buttocks. I'm just going to move this over here. So it's out of sight, as it were. Out of sight, out of mind. So singles. This is box sets. Yeah, so quite a pile of horror stuff. Horror and sort of horror adjacent stuff. So what was my plan doing that? Oh yeah, finishing with the horror anime. Oh fuck! Oh my god. Well, everything was organized. When he fell down there. Just one. I might just pop off to the bathroom for a moment. I blame the coffee. I'll be back. I gotta bring the stream deck over too. Enjoy some spooky ambiance until I return. I will return. All right. Lots of room for those double deckers now. Watch my edition of Bruce Lee movies. I got you. I watched the Extras the same night. I can't remember if Game of Death. I watched the documentary first, but the movie after watching. We really enjoyed that one a lot. Well, I mean, yeah, with any behind the scenes documentary, I would never watch them before the movie, obviously, because that would spoil things. It's like sometimes I listen to commentary tracks, and the people doing the commentary are really concerned about spoiling things from the movie. It's like, dude, who the fuck is going to listen to the commentary first? And if you do, well, that's on you if things get spoiled, you know? Like, watch the movie. Then see how they made it. I don't know. But yeah, I assume you're talking about that like 4-hour-long documentary. That sounds amazing. Very cool. Goth Sherpa. Alright. I wasn't aware that I had sheep. Or would that be a sheepa? Anyway. Whoops. Sorry, I keep tripping. Hey, Solar Tame. I remember that too, yeah. It's funny, I just, he was just saying, I remember that you got hosted by Hamlin's all those years ago. I ended up joining and carrying y'all to a win with thousands of viewers watching. Yeah, no, that was one for the ages. That was November 2019. I had literally been playing Fortnite for about 2 weeks. Like, I was total new. I didn't even know how to build yet. Like, I was a total noob. I'm a little better now. Although that said, I don't really play much anymore because Epic has just become an absolute piece of shit company in recent years, quite frankly, and I don't like what they've been doing with their game or like as a company or with the game, and yeah, I've mostly just been playing like the creative stuff. Like I played some of the Star Wars ones. Like I played Droid Tycoon quite a bit, and then some restaurant one that someone else had made that was pretty good. And yeah, and that's it. Like I haven't actually played like Battle Royale proper in maybe a month. Going from playing almost every day, but yeah. That's all right. I mean, things change, right? Nothing lasts forever. But and even Hamlin's old group is long since disbanded. Apparently, I was watching a thing, watching a video funny left not too long ago, about big YouTubers. YouTubers. A Sherpa is a mountain guide, right? Of course. I'm very tired. My brain is not anywhere except where it needs to be right now. But like for doing my video and stuff. I'm just gonna put the fan over here because I do have the air conditioner going, but it's still kind of put that down a bit. This is gonna blow the background like crazy, but I'll turn it off before we film, obviously. Sorry, I don't mean to keep chicking you guys. It's nothing personal. Don't mean to be so violent. Yeah, stop the violence. Let's bring you guys a little closer, shall we? Get a little closer with Big Red. There we go. That's a little better, eh? But yeah, that night that Hamlin's raided, I mean, I didn't know who any of the big Fortnite people were. You guys had to tell me who he was. I was like, had no clue. But no, that was a crazy night. It had like 16,000 people in the chat. It was insane. It almost blew up my stream. Like my computer started struggling. The stream started struggling. But thankfully I have attentive mods and they quickly threw everything into slow mode and we were able to weather it out. But I mean, we must have been pretty fucking entertaining that night because I think about 3,000 or 4,000 people stuck around. I'm sure most of them were asleep, but still, I'll take it. But yeah, that was the biggest audience I ever had. Maybe we'll surpass it someday. On our own would be nice. Not needing a big raid from a big, you know, international celebrity streamer. But yeah, that was cool. I actually saved the stream. Like, he raided out to us, so he was finishing up his stream and then came over to ours. And I actually went over to his page after, and I saved that stream just so I could have the moment where he randomly picked us, and just to kind of have the complete story, as it were. So that was nice. So I actually have his stream from that night, and then of course when he raided my stream. So that was pretty fun. Hey, Vermin Art. Good morning. But yeah, that is in my archives somewhere. I think it's public. I don't remember. If it isn't, I might just make that one public for fun. I think I have. I at least have clips of it public, but I still have the full stream. Like, it's in my archives. I keep everything. I'm a digital hoarder that way. So today we're going to attempt to do another update video. I'd like to do more, but I don't know if I have the energy for it, honestly. Oh, just had some food, had some vitamin supplements which are supposed to aid metabolism and boost energy. We'll see how that works, and we'll go from there. But the thing is, I have the place to myself tonight. Rose is out for the evening. She's staying over her friends, so here we are. It's just us tonight, folks. It's just us. Party! Wow, this is like the most straight-on shot you guys have had of this angle, possibly ever. Cool. I think one of the reasons being that new cable makes it a lot easier to move around more, you know. So you don't have to keep zooming in on me. You can pull it back. Pull it back. I want you to pull it back. Just pull it back a bit, because you're cropping out the co-hosts here. How if I cover my face? Will that do it? Will it do it? Yeah, okay, now we do this. Oh, you motherfucker! You're supposed to stop when I do that. Alright, I cover my face again. I gotta see if... Okay, and now? Oh my fucking god, it is not working. Anyway, I guess it's just gonna be hyperactive all night. Now, what do you think? Is it gonna zoom in on the pumpkin again when I step away, or is it gonna zoom in on the skull? Because technically the skull should be more of a face, but it seems to see a face more in the pumpkin. It's very strange. I don't know why. I wonder if I step away, if it will pick one. Because it has this obsession with zooming in on faces. So, like, I want it to be zoomed back. We have the camera in 4K mode. I want to see all that juicy detail. But if it's just zooming in on the image, I feel like we're losing half the resolution. Let me see. If I walk away, what will it do? Oh, that's great. Can we do this? Nope. We do this. And like half the time it does it when I don't even want it to. I can't show my face or it'll zoom in. Can you, like, just blinkety blink? It's supposed to, like, the light on it is supposed to blink. Can we just... Hello? This hand? This hand? This hand? is the future. Greetings, D-Man David and Luke. Speaking of Luke, no, you didn't. I canceled it because nobody fucking showed up. So, yeah, I'm wondering, like, do you guys even want screenings? I'm really beginning to wonder, because it seems like the last several I've run, there's been, like, 2 people who've shown up. And it's like, yeah, hooray for those 2 people, but I don't know, the effort I put into setting them up, I kind of like at least, a few more. It's very disheartening when you try to put on a show for people and nobody comes to the show. If you build it, they will come, they say. Well, I keep building it. So, for the 3rd week in a row, we're going to try to do that particular Knight Rider screening next week. So, if you want to be there, be there. You have all week to plan ahead for it. This is why I schedule them. And we'll give it one last try. But if nobody shows up again, then I'm just not going to fucking bother, because it wastes my time, I'll just watch things on my own. Wow, what a bitchy bitch I am tonight, eh? Sorry, guys. End of month stress, honestly. I'm sure we're all feeling that to some extent, especially fellow renters. Yes, but speaking of Luke, check out what arrived in the mail today. The General. God damn, can we just... Here, come here. You piece of shit. There. The General. The classic Buster Keaton silent film with the big fucking train in it. And, I don't know how well if it'll focus. But if you take a look there. Come on, focus, you piece of shit. Do something useful. Like, how are you not focusing on that? It's right in your face. Anyway, you can kind of see it. There's a feature-length documentary here by some guy named Luke Ryan. I don't know, I've never heard of him. Yes, but it is not just something he edited for someone else's essay. No. It's like an almost hour-long documentary about Buster Keaton's just kind of love of trains and use of trains in his movies. And this is, I think, one of the reasons why Luke and I get along so well, is because we very much are of the same mindset with our content, in that we like to put a personal touch on it. And this is no exception. He made this is, well, first off, one of his all-time favorite films. So this would be like me doing one for The Thing or Blade Runner or something like, or the Transformers movie or something like that, right? Or Howard the Duck, doing a 90-minute expose, featurette, tell-all about Howard the Duck. That would be The General. So anyway, he got the opportunity to do this documentary for it, and it's apparently really good. He wrote it, he edited it, narrated it, and just the whole works. It's 100% a Luke Ryan production, and it's on a motherfucking Eureka Masters of Cinema 4K disc. How cool is that? Wow. Small town boy does good. Very good. So that is awesome. And I'm just going to keep hyping this up forever because we like to boost our friends around here. I haven't watched it yet, but I understand, and it's no word of a lie, you can look it up yourself, the documentary itself on the disc is getting rave reviews. Everybody's loving it. So, yeah, so check it out. The General from Eureka on 4K. I think there's a Blu-ray as well, probably region locked. The 4K is not region locked. I mean, you want the 4K anyway, right? I mean, come on. So, and also, just like say, first off, this cover is awful, but we won't worry about that. We get a nice moody shot of Buster on the interior art there, so that's pretty nice. But It certainly, I mean, if you didn't know anything about this and you look at this, you're not going to think, ooh, madcap comedy. Master of physical comedy right here, folks, as this picture shows. Clearly. Yeah, but we all know. It doesn't matter. We know. And that's what really matters. But I think it's great that we're actually getting, I mean, this movie came out, it was, what was it? Luke was telling me earlier today that it has a copyright date of 1926 because it technically premiered on, like, New Year's Eve in Japan. 1926 or something ridiculous like that. But most people consider it a 1927 film. But anyway, they call it 1926 here because technically that's correct. But I was going to say, like, how cool is it that we're getting films that are literally 100 years old or more restored in 4K? You know, like, oh, but they didn't have high def in the 20s. It's not real high def. Fuck off. Just shut up with that and learn what film is. Yeah, this is like, I mean, honestly, this probably looks better than it looked in cinemas at the time. Like, that's how much visual fidelity has advanced over the years. But yeah, so you basically get it in cinema quality in your home. This wonderful film. I've never seen this film. I hear it's fantastic, mostly from Luke, because he likes to talk about it a lot. He's like me with, I don't know, whatever my hyperfixation du jour is. So that's, the General is one of the ones for him. So there you go. He says that should have been on the poster. It's got a big fucking train in it. Hell yeah. The General. It's got a big fucking train in it. Sold. Yeah. Better than cinema quality. Well, I'm thinking, like, you know, nitrate film prints in the 20s were probably kind of rough in shape if they didn't spontaneously burst into flames while being projected. But yeah, so I'd say the 4K is a much safer way to watch it, and likely higher quality than what folks back in the day likely would have seen. Yes, technically correct. The best kind of correct. Oh, that fan feels so nice. Sharky's like, damn, Luke, that's awesome. As also a longtime watcher of your channel as well. Well, there you go. See? And that's also why I mentioned, because I know you guys know Razor Wire Reviews, and most of you watch his content as well. So, there you go. So it just goes to show, sometimes just doing your thing on YouTube can actually lead to bigger opportunities. So, cheers to Luke. And the and that big fucking train movie. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta make sure the hair doesn't get too unruly. I don't mind if it poofs out, because it does that with the humidity, but I just don't like it when it gets in my face. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was mentioning also that Luke is a big fan of Hong Kong cinema as well. I sent him pictures of all the stuff that you sent me, Thomas. I don't know why I'm talking about Luke in the third person when he's literally in the room. So, Luke, do you know this Luke guy? Do you watch his content? I don't know if you've heard of yourself. But, yeah, so anyway, I sent him pictures. Only 24 pounds adding to cart. Yeah, and you know what's really fucky? I don't know if it's because of all the tariff madness going on in the world that changes on a daily basis, it seems. But, so, I bought this through Amazon UK, right? And it was probably about the same, 24 pounds. So it'd be about $50. Plus, like, $20 shipping, because can't get Amazon Prime outside of your home country. And then on top of that, I had to pay like $23 in import fees. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this thing cost me literally $100. So, yeah, we support our friends around here, no matter the cost. So this better be one fucking hell of a good essay. That's all I can say, Luke. I'm sure it will be lovely. But, yeah. Now, a lot of the time, it's cheaper to import from the UK but I normally don't buy just a single. No, I can't buy from Eureka Direct. They don't accept any of my payment options. We've had this conversation before. That's why you had to buy the Tank Girl set for me, remember? Until I discovered they also sell them on Amazon. So, yeah. Same with the Hammer ones, by the way. They sell those on Amazon UK as well. So, if, for example, that Dracula set that's coming out in October, yes, Hammer's doing a big deluxe set of Dracula, by the way, the 1958 one, Christopher Lee, so take note. Pre-orders haven't gone up yet, but it has been announced for an October release. And then, yeah. It might have been more reasonable. I mean, I think in terms of the actual cost of the title itself, I think it was about the same. Like, it wasn't really a big difference there. But, yeah. But anyway, the Dracula one, like if that one has, because I remember the Curse of Frankenstein, it wouldn't ship outside of the UK because North America has the fucking Warner Archive release and they locked up the rights here. So it doesn't matter that I'm collecting all these specifically Hammer releases, a bunch of which are in this update, by the way, a bunch of the more recent ones. But, yeah, it just doesn't matter. You can just get fucked. But then I found out they sell it through Amazon, so you might be able to get it there. So, and it's another big deluxe set. It is, yeah, I mean, those big deluxe limited edition boutique label titles tend not to be cheap. The only reason I have so many of them is because we got, some inheritance money. So it was my treat to myself. Well, and a treat that you guys will enjoy too, because I'll be doing videos about everything we got. So, yeah, very cool. What did Luke say about the Kung Fu? Well, he immediately recognized what they were, because I think he has the same sets you do. He says, oh, those are really nice breakdowns of the bigger sets. I'm like, yes. Then I mentioned that you said that it like the Shaw Brothers ones included all but one of the movies from the Volume 1 sets, and stuff like that, so that's cool. And then all the Bruce Lee ones, of course. I remember, didn't that start, like, I could have sworn, like, you started your Hong Kong journey a little earlier, Thomas, like when we were collecting all the Mill Creek sets. I was, like, this close to getting the 2 martial arts sets that they put out. I just never got around to it. But I thought you had picked those ones up. But, yeah. There was 2, I think. There was one that had Bruce Lee on the cover, I believe, and then there was another one that was it like a ninja guy or something? I can't remember. But a lot of the movies that were in that martial arts set are in some of the other sets. Like I think the drive-in set has a bunch of them. But yeah. Greetings. Yeah, I would have actually probably started streaming Iron Fist Frenzy. That's the one. Gotta love the Mill Creek names, eh? And then there was another one, I think it was just called Martial Arts Movies. It was a fairly generic title, but... Yes. Now, it must be a productive night. Maybe. Yeah. The 50 set, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think the other set, a lot of it was duplicated in the... I'm pretty sure it was the drive-in collection. Like some of the ninja movies and stuff, but I don't remember. But ha! I didn't mean it dismissively. No, I didn't mean to imply that I meant that you meant it dismissively. just that was just simply that you recognized what they were. The shot sets were nicely grouped, like a set from yeah. I thought, like, again, I kind of thought of you, Luke, when I saw that, because you're always telling me of the directors and whatnot, and like a lot of the names of the talent in those, I now recognize largely thanks to you. It's like, oh, Angela Mao's in this one. Ooh, Sammo Hung, he's great. Like, like I actually know who these people are now, and I had no clue before your hyperfixation and just info dumping to me about all this stuff. But no, it's fascinating to me, and I like them for, I think, a lot of the same reasons you do. It's like just like the creativity, and of course the action and the humor. Like, a lot of it can be very tongue in cheek, but also a lot of it can be very dramatic and serious. You know, when there's some that are quite not so tongue in cheek, as it were. But there's the skill of the martial arts is always a joy to watch. And yeah, just some of the crazy creativity, and in particular, like some of the supernatural ones, like like we watched Mr. Vampire together. I definitely need to watch the rest of those, because that was a lot of fun. And it just gets into some crazy shit, and sometimes it'll be based on like actual folklore, and sometimes it'll just be crazy shit they made up, you know. And I love that. It just seems like a genre where like a type of filmmaking where literally anything goes. Like, just, can you imagine it? Then let's do it. But it'll look cheesy, so who cares? People love that shit. In fact, let's make it look more cheesy. Let's just lean into that. You know? So I love that. And I can see, just from the little I've seen, I can totally get why people become so enamored with that genre, is because it's just fun, quite frankly, you know. So yeah, so I got a stack of stuff, both from Thomas and from recommendations from you, Luke, and I think you might have even sent me one at some point. I can't remember, but yeah, so I got a nice little stack of Hong Kong cinema that will be occupying a special shelf in my collection. All the cheese, that's right. Well, I mean, I'm no stranger to that. I grew up watching Godzilla movies, which is like, Hong Kong has their kung fu, Japan has Godzilla, but I always equated the two together, because for the longest time, the only way we could see any of them over here was on like bargain bin VHS tapes, badly dubbed in English, like often hilariously badly dubbed in English. And that just became like a trope of the genre. And, but then now, of course, much like a lot of these obscure horror movies that were hard to get or heavily censored or just banned entirely, depending where you lived in the world, now we're getting like these big deluxe royal treatment releases for all of these obscure movies. And we're seeing the same with the Hong Kong cinema, where they used to be, all this stuff that used to be bargain bin fodder is now getting the royal treatment and actually recognized for the, just the significant contributions to cinematic history that they are. Are they Citizen Kane? No. But are they entertaining and have artistic merit? I would say yes. Well, definitely entertaining. Artistic merit? Well, it varies. I mean, case by case there, but you know what I mean. Like, there's more to them than what I think back in the 80s a lot of us thought, simply because of the lack of availability, and what was available in not the most flattering of presentations, So now we get to see them uncut in their original, Chinese, and really get to experience them in all their glory, And with the Godzilla films, we had to experience them in the original Japanese, which was unheard of for a long time. Toho just would not release the original versions overseas. They would only give us the English dubs, or outsource the English dubs to companies that were, you could tell English wasn't their first language. And I think a lot of the same dubbing houses did both the Kung Fu movies and the Godzilla movies. But, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, was it Luke says, yeah, and stakes are always interesting because literally anyone could die at any point in Hong Kong films. It feels like they don't play by the normal rules. See, and that's fun too. So, you know, definitely all for stuff that breaks the mold, thinks outside the box, and dares to go there. But I mean, that's one thing I've always liked about, and I find that about a lot of Asian cinema in general. I mean, a lot of the Japanese stuff is like that too, where like anybody could die at any moment. Even a lot of the anime is like that. I mean, I remember watching like the original Mobile Suit Gundam series from 1979. Yeah, just giant robot series. How intense could that be? Yeah, main characters fucking die like brutally, and it gets like deep into the consequences of war, and not just for the good guys. The good guys are like very well developed, fleshed out characters that you grow to love and hate, and you have your favorites and the ones you don't like and stuff. And when someone dies, you really feel it. But the bad guys too, even just some random soldier who gets killed, like the commander is like, oh, we lost Captain Floobity Doob. Oh man, I went to his christening and blah blah. And like, there's this whole backstory to Commander Floobity Doob who just got killed, and you just don't see that shit in, like, at the time, Saturday morning cartoons, So I like that. I like that. What is it? The Boxer from Shang Tong. I have only watched the English dub. I'm tempted to watch it again in English sub. Oh yeah, you should watch all of them in English sub, dude. Like, it's honestly a whole different experience for a lot of those types of movies. Like when I watched holy shit, and sometimes they're completely different edits too. It's not even just that they've been dubbed or subbed. Like for example, great example actually, the very first Godzilla movie, the original Godzilla movie. For the longest time, the only version we had outside of Japan was, the Raymond Burr cut, which is fine in and of itself. It still remains pretty true to the heart of the film. But man, when they finally released, I think, no, it was Classic Media finally got the rights to put out the original Japanese version of Godzilla over here on DVD. I still have that release. Nice little digibook release. And then later Criterion put it out. But man, seeing the original Japanese version of that was like a revelation. It is like, it's already a pretty dark film to begin with, even the Raymond Burr version. But you watch the Japanese version, it is so much darker and loaded with so much more subtext and stuff. Like, it is a legitimate, superb film, like masterpiece of a film. Some of the original effects are a little janky. I'm not a big fan of the Godzilla puppet. The suit looks good though. The puppet part's not so much. Didn't really match up with the suit too well, but that's okay. We can suspend our disbelief. The main thing is the tone and feel of the movie, right? Which is amazing in that original. That's why so many of the follow-ups just do direct sequels to the original, because the original was just so goddamn good. So, Ishiro Honda, dude knew what he was doing. He had something to say. He was not just a giant monster trash in the city. He had something to say. And in particular, just the whole, being barely a decade after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So those wounds are still very fresh, physically and emotionally, for a lot of people. So Godzilla tapped right into that, But, yeah. So. Yeah, and Thomas says, yeah, Go Lion had way more death than Voltron. Oh, God, yeah. That's another example of, like, things being watered down. And being the only way we could see things over here for the longest time. Like, Voltron's a very good example of that. If you've only ever seen Voltron, which is fun in its own way, it's a very bright, colorful series, amazing stereo sound. It was the first stereo cartoon ever. Did you know that? Yeah, 1984. Same year as Miami Vice, which was the first stereo network TV show. Both came out at the same time. So, the electronic stores selling stereo TVs and stereo systems to hook up to those stereo TVs had a heyday. So they'd have Voltron running all day and then Miami Vice running in the evening, you know? So pretty cool. But so that was cool. But seeing the original Go Lion and Die Rugger 15 when was it Media Blasters released it a few years back. One release only. Well, actually, Go Lion got a complete series release as well. So 3 releases technically, but all within a short span of time and never re-released. You can find the ISOs of all 9 of those on archive.org. But you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, uncompressed, full quality, 1-to-1, as if you bought them. Nice placeholder until a re-release happens, which I thought would have happened maybe for the 40th anniversary of Voltron a couple of years ago, but no, nothing. But yeah, you go back and watch the original. It is so violent. So violent. Japanese kids are just made different. Yeah. And I mean, we watch Go Lion, and you think, wow, that was so violent. But you know what? Since then, I've picked up a lot of other 70s and 80s Super Robot anime, because that's my jam. I love that stuff, as you guys know. And it's all the original uncut Japanese versions, a lot of which were never even released here in censored form at all, like just not released here at all. And holy shit, basically they're all Go Lion, like all of them. The only difference is some are gorier than others, but in terms of like the tone and like characters dying and things like that, yeah. Ever since Combatler V really kicked that off, having more dramatic, impactful, consequence-filled stories, that kind of became the norm. And that carried over into other genres as well, like other genres of anime. So, yeah, the kids stuff over there is just cut from a different cloth from what we have over here. And yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, honestly. I mean, I don't believe in candy coating things. I've always been very open and honest about things with Rose, and I think you know, the results speak for themselves. She's a very, you know, has her shit together young lady now, and I think that's at least in part due to the fact that I've never candy coated things. So just tell it like it is. I mean, you want your kid to be ready for the world, so tell them how shitty the world is. At an appropriate time, obviously, not when they're like 3. Although you'd be amazed how much even toddlers pick up on, like, the stuff that comes out of kids' mouths sometimes. Like, where the fuck did you hear that? Oops. I the fuck heard it from Grandma. Oh, okay, great. Well, that's in your vocabulary now. This is Chinese hopping... No. Chinese hopping vampires is the genre. It is a form of... It's from Chinese folklore. And, well, once again, Luke actually explained this to me, and it goes something like this. There was a tradition, I guess, where they would sometimes wrap up the dead, and the pallbearers would have the I think they'd be like sitting in a chair, or I don't know if they were standing, but they were like, anyway, the upper body was upright, and they would kind of carry them through the forest to the graveyard in the middle of the night. So sometimes people would see them, but wouldn't see the people carrying them. They just see the tops of the bodies, like this, going through the forest in the middle of the night. So that's where the whole idea that, oh my god, it's the undead, and they're hopping, which, you know, sounds ridiculous, but hey, the origins of most superstitions are. So that became embedded in their folklore, the idea of the hopping undead. So you have these vampires that, as they advance menacingly towards you, they hop towards you. And yeah, if you watch the one I mentioned earlier, Mr. Vampire, it's a whole. There's like 4 movies in the series, and it's great. It's so much fun. The whole thing is in like 2 sets, I think. Is it from Eureka? It's either Eureka or 88 Films. I can't remember. One of them. Anyway, Mr. Vampire, and then the 3 sequels. Watch that. They're basically horror comedies, which are absolutely dripping with Chinese folklore for ghosts, vampires, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, very fun. Very fun. You'll love them. I've watched the first one, and it was an absolute blast. And when I get through all these updates, I'm going to be properly sitting down and watching things. I've watched a lot of stuff, but, you know, haven't even made a dent yet, so we'll get there. Hopping vampires. Yeah. But I mean, like, I love that shit. I love learning about different cultures, and in particular different cultures' folklore and horror stories. You know, so that was partly something I wanted to focus on with the big sort of, you know, mega additions to the collection. Was I wanted to check out some Asian horror that goes beyond what I have seen, like the more modern stuff, like The Ring and Ju-on and stuff like that. Dark Water. So I want to get those back in the collection. But while I was getting those, I thought, wow, you know, there's a lot of other Asian horror out there that I haven't really experienced. And then Luke and I got to talking, and he's not as much into the horror stuff, but loves the Hong Kong stuff. So the Mr. Vampire movies were kind of a middle ground, where it's like, well, this is both. It's got the Hong Kong stuff, and it's got the horror stuff, and you can like learn about, you know, horror folklore from China in this case. And I was like, sweet, sounds good. And added Hopping Vampires to cart. Yeah, there's 2 sets. There's I'll see if I can find them. Actually, I think I have them on the shelf over here. I'll show you exactly the ones I'm talking about. Yes, here it is. This is great. Hold on, let me bring it up closer. So, first off, we have Mr. Vampire. And there we go. And this is indeed from Eureka. It's a Eureka Films release. There we go. So this is just the first one with a load of extras. Then we have Hopping Mad, the Mr. Vampire collection, which has... Oh, there's actually 4. There's 4 sequels. I think 3 of them are official and 1 is kind of like a knockoff. The Mr. Vampire series actually spawned a whole bunch of knockoffs as well, apparently. But yeah, so if you get these 2 sets, you'll have basically the entire canonical Mr. Vampire saga. So, yeah, I still have to watch the sequels, but loved the first one. Probably going to rewatch that one and then jump into the sequels. So. So you said that was about the suits. It still bugs me the suits' colors don't match the parts of Voltron Goline. Yeah, I know. I don't know why they did that. Maybe the contrast or something. I don't know. But added both sets from Eureka. There you go. D-Man Davis says, damn, something more for my wallet to cry about when funds are available. That looks fucking awesome. Oh, they're great. Yeah, they're so much fun. And they are Region B, just so you know. So make sure you can watch Region B content. Or do what I do and just rip them to your computer. Alright, I'll be back, and then let's see about maybe getting some filming. Done.
What color am I? Hmm. I guess I'll be... There we go. Okay, hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, the whole bathroom experience, Carlatin. If the bathroom was an amusement park, we went on every ride today. And then we went on that one loop-to-loop where the guy barfs at the top, and then whoever hit... and then it reaches the bottom by the time you circle back around and lands right back in your face. So, yeah. I saw a video where that happened. It's horrifying. Those poor people. Oh, so tragic. Oh, just I want to clip that part. Just for future reference, you want to go back a little bit, future me, to find the clip from Tarot Destroyer about their family getting eaten by pygmies. It's a good bit. Should make a funny little clip. So go back and get that. And then delete this one. You don't need... This is just to let me know. Okay. Hi, me. How's the future? All right. I can't hear you. Just typing the response to Carlatin because he's having trouble with the video, you see. I'm nice that way. I try to help my mods. Yeah, you'd think Twitch, being a streaming site, would be, you know... Fuck. Yeah, fuck you, Beatty. He just stood there. He went over the side. That was amazing. Check it out, folks. 666 hours in Fortnite. We made it. Woo! Your last man standing, tough.
Yeah,
Go! Oh! Oh, Jesus.
Get lost. Fucking Homer.
Holy shit, you got Simpson so hard.
Yeah.
That can't be the last one. One more.
You were being mobbed by Homer zombies, and then fucking Scratchy finishes you off with a sniper shot. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I've been browsing and looking at all kinds of horrible stuff on the internet. I hope no one ever sees the horrible things I was looking at. See this right here? You see this? This little fire icon here? Watch this. You click this. Click clear. Boom. Wiped. Is that simple. You can also set it so that it does that automatically. Boom. Whenever you close the browser. And it's as if you had done it. It's as if it's a fresh, clean install every time you load it up. And that's it. It just wipes everything. The worst thing Darth Vader can say is I think my lung capacity's. Look, I made a burger. It looks weird. It's because of the romaine lettuce having lumps in it. But anyway, it's a cheeseburger. The cheese was on the burger before. I put it should be lettuce, cheese, burger, right? But I put the cheese on the burger, and then I put it together, and then I saw the lettuce sitting there, and I was like, ah, shit, I forgot to put the lettuce on. So I put the lettuce on the bottom, so it was like cheeseburger lettuce. Like, how messed up is that? And the patty, like, kept trying to slide off the lettuce. That's why you don't put the lettuce on the bottom. You put the lettuce on the top. Did anyone play Burger Time? It literally teaches you the layers of a burger. And, well, clearly I didn't play enough Burger Time. So what did we figure? So yeah. Testing there. Okay. Have the dramatic fade on. Yeah, Thomas says I have region free players, so region codes mean nothing. Well, yes. I meant more for, those not in region B land. But I think region free players are a little more common overseas. I remember it was the same thing with back in the analog days. You'd have TVs that could handle both NTSC and PAL signals, or players that could play both. They literally had world standard VCRs that you could get that would play both PAL and NTSC content. Those were not common over here. So, yeah, different world. In my case, I have both. I've got a region-free player for Blu-rays. I've got a standalone 4K player for 4Ks, which I still need to properly integrate into my system. Yes, Mr. British. Yeah, I've tried a few different setups for it to kind of integrate it into my system. I'm not happy with any of them, so we'll see. We'll see what we can do about that at some point. Anyway, fucking regions. Yeah, I know. Just a drag, man. Oh, hi, Church. Church has awoken. That's the most careful descent from your platform I've ever seen. What you doing, buddy? Oh, just time for a munch? Having a munch for lunch. Well, this should be a pretty good angle for you guys. Yeah. World standard VHS would be nice. I'm stuck in region 2 land for VHS. Yeah. I mean, is it that important now? I feel like most of the notable rare VHS releases have since been digitized by other fans, so you can at least get them in digital form. But yeah, although I know a lot of people are collecting VHS now, so the world seems to be sick of streaming. Hence why we buy things on disc. Yeah, I don't think this is on Netflix. The General from 1926. Yeah, that's another reason to collect physical media.
as much as we have oceans of content on streaming, it is a drop in the bucket compared to what is available collectively across all the various video formats on physical media. So, well, that's true. Yeah, still cool old tech. I have no idea what they would go for now, or if, you know, how available they are decades after the fact. But yeah, I remember back in my early days of collecting, um, it was like region coding wasn't even a thing in the days of analog. It was just so strictly about the video format. So if you were in NTSC land, you needed an NTSC player and TV. If you're in PAL land, you needed a PAL player and TV. If you're in CCAM land, yes, there's a third video standard. You would need, you know, compatible player and TV. Nowadays, it's all digital, so it doesn't matter what format it's in. High def TVs can handle anything, any frame rate, any resolution. So you just need something that can, you know, that's compatible with or can bypass the region coding if there is any. Thankfully, they seem to have abandoned region coding for 4Ks. I've heard rumors there's a handful of them that do have region codes, but we don't talk about those. Yeah. I even see it on the Hammer site, for example. We were talking about that earlier. With a lot of their 4K releases, they will also include the Blu-ray. The 4K is region free. The Blu-ray is always region B locked. So, tis what it is. What can I tell you? But that's why I'm glad that I, A, have a region-free player, and B, also have a pair of really fast Blu-ray drives for my computer, so I can very easily rip discs. I mean, I rip everything anyway, just for convenience, so I can watch while I'm working on stuff and not have to be messing around with discs. So I just use Make MKV to rip the Blu-rays to MKV files. They're one-to-one quality. You're not losing any quality. It's the same as if you're watching the disc. And that's it. And then I, you know, watch the files, not worrying about region coding, and then delete them when I'm done. Save up that and, you know, use the space for something else. Hey, J6 says, looks like I woke up at the right time. Yeah. As a D-Man David says, I had some of my friends say, why do you collect physical media? It's all available. Wrong. They are wrong. Easily provable. Oh, okay, there's more to this. So he says, the vindication I've gotten in just the last year alone with things leaving and the multiple platforms and fees. Yeah, see? People are waking up. They said we were crazy. Now who's coming crawling back, right? Yeah. So if my internet goes down, I'm good. I got more entertainment here than I'll probably ever be able to watch in my lifetime. But at least I know it's available to me whenever the whim strikes. And when you're ADHD, like me, and autistic, so you hyperfixate, but hyperfixate on a lot of different things at any given time. Mood changes, interests shift, you get burned out on one thing, you move on to something else, you come back to that other thing later. You know, having a huge eclectic collection that covers all of and caters to all of those wide and varied interests and hyperfixations is a godsend, because then it doesn't matter. I mean, there was a few years back, I, you know, was hard up for cash and didn't have internet for a couple months. So I basically would go to work and come home. I would watch movies from my collection, and I played Fallout 3 to completion. Until I saved up enough to get my internet back. I didn't just get the internet back, I got it upgraded. So Yeah, so that was nice. Hey, Berman says, and not to mention the changes to films. Oh, God, yes, that are made on digital platforms. Yeah. Or sometimes TV shows, older TV shows, like, oh, that episode didn't age well, so we're just going to take it out of the rotation entirely. But that episode will be present in full uncut form on the DVD release, you know. I'm looking at you, Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons. You know what I'm talking about. It's on the DVDs. It's not on Disney Plus. So, there you go. So it says, although I have the Arrow version of Bruce Lee movies, I'd like to get them on VHS. And the seller I seen is Region 1. That and the box art is nothing compared to Arrow, and picture quality, obviously not a patch on it. Well, of course, you know, comparing 4K to VHS, I mean, yeah, a little bit of a change. God, I am freaking tired. I was, I had a lot on my mind last night, and had kind of a tossy-turny sleep. Then on top of it, I was stressing about making sure I didn't sleep in so that I would be on time for the screening that nobody came to. Yeah, literally 3 people showed up. One just to say goodnight before he went to bed. The other wasn't able to hear the sound of the show because he was having technical problems, so he just gave up after a while. And then one other person came by, watched for a couple minutes. I had to step away for a couple minutes to do something, get some food or something. I came back and he was gone. So it's just the show playing to an empty house. So I was like, okay. Message received, guys. You all hate Knight Rider. Got it. So, yes, it's all your fault, Vermin. I blame you and you alone. No, I don't. I mean, what can you do? I mean, if the community isn't interested, they're not interested. I can't, like, force people to come and watch my screenings. Like, okay, fine. All I can do is put it out there. So, whatever. No skin off my back. I was watching them quite happily on my own. I thought, well, oh, these are fun. I should share them with everybody. And, well, I don't know. I'm just bitching. Don't mind me. I'm just complaining. I'm just being Molly Moaner here. Moaning Myrtle. Oh, fuck. No, take that back. I did not just make a Harry Potter reference. Fuck that turf. It just shows how ingrained it is in our culture. You can't help but make the references sometimes. They just slip out. But I'm working on it. I will remove Harry Potter from my vernacular. Yeah, being forced to watch one particular cut of film when multiple cuts are available physically. Oh, that's another thing with streaming, yeah. I think it does a disservice to the filmmaker and to fans of the film and the history of the film. Yeah, like if they're only showing, say, the theatrical version, not the director's cut, like the preferred cut, or what have you. Yeah, and that's the thing is the streaming services are essentially treated like shovelware. They are, follow me here, the modern day equivalent of Blockbuster and the $5 VHS bin. That's basically what the streaming services are. The difference being the $5 VHS bin often had some really cool, obscure movies that you wouldn't find anywhere else. That's how I discovered Castle of the Walking Dead, a.k.a. The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, that wonderful, obscure gothic horror starring Christopher Lee. I love that movie. Loosely inspired by Poe. Yeah. So when they found like a pristine print of it and put it on the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee Volume 1, that was a must sell or a must buy for me. So sold. That's the second time I'd bought it. Well, third if you can count the original VHS. But yeah. Well, Knight Rider is dumb, but it's fun dumb. Okay. I don't think it's dumb. It's just, it's of its time. But I mean, it's fairly standard 80s action adventure primetime TV show fare. You know, very typical for its era. But I'll tell you where it excels um, is the stunts. The stunts are incredible and like legitimately incredible in that show. Like you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff about it, and when they talk about how crazy the stunt guys were in that show, yeah, they were just nuts, absolute nuts. And yeah, I would not call Knight Rider dumb. As someone who has been rewatching it, revisiting it recently, and reassessing through adult eyes, while also enjoying feeling 9 years old again, I don't think it's dumb at all. I think this is very much of its time. You know, I mean, all shows from that era have aspects of them that, through modern eyes, seem cheesy, but you got to understand, it's 40 years old. It's probably older than a lot of people in this room. So, you know, I generally don't look at things from the past and laugh at them for being old. To me, that's silly. They just are what they are. You know, they are of their time. And that, at the time, was a normal TV show, you know? So, what can I say? What can I say? Fucking love Knight Rider. I bought it on Blu-ray twice. First, well, the Mill Creek's Blu-ray set, and now the Universal 4K set. I will be buying it a third time to get the German set that came out that actually has season 4 in stereo, and I think it has the one other feature-length one in uncut form, which none of the other sets have. So, I love Knight Rider. I wrote to David Hasselhoff when I was a kid and asked him for an autographed picture, and you know, one of his interns very graciously sent me one. And I cherish it. Michael Knight was one of my heroes growing up, you know, Michael Knight and Kit. Definitely. Right up there with the Hulk, you know, and yeah. But that was the thing, like a lot of shows in the 80s, they were very big on like super vehicles and just generally car chases and car action. Because it was a form of action that I guess was fairly inexpensive to do. There was a multitude of stunt drivers in Hollywood at the time. And, you know, watch like the Rockford Files. The thing that's great about the Rockford Files is James Garner did most of his own stunts in that. He was actually a licensed like race driver. Like he knew how to drive. So yeah. Yeah, no, I know, but I just want to clarify for anyone who might be thinking along those lines, and I don't want to sort of, you know, for people to be kind of led down that path of assessment rather than kind of I feel like, I don't know, I like to focus on the positive. Simple as that. So, and D-Man David says, truth be told, I haven't seen a single episode yet, even though I have the complete Blu-ray set of Knight Rider. Really looking forward to seeing William Daniels voice Kit. Oh, he's great. The two of them together were great. Like, just the rapport between them. Wonderful. And William Daniels is terrific. Just so like sassy, always back talking, and you know they just have a fun kind of buddy relationship, you know. The only bad thing Knight Rider gave us was the clones after. Well, yeah, trying to get, you know, capture lightning in a bottle twice. And Knight Rider itself has been brought back several times to varying levels of success. Like there was Team Knight Rider, which felt very cheap and low budget by comparison, and it was. But, you know, it was very typical for 90s shows at the time. The 2008 series, though, that was actually pretty damn good.
I've seen a few episodes from it. I've seen the pilot and a few other episodes. But yeah, the 2008 series was actually quite good. And it's unfortunate that it didn't last beyond one slightly truncated season. So, yeah. Hulk Hogan was in Thunder in Paradise. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, and the other thing was when the series ended, it just kind of ended with like a typical episode, no big finale or anything. But then they did Knight Rider 2000, which reunited pretty much all the surviving cast for one last feature-length adventure, and I think most fans consider that to be the proper finale to the original series. And the 4K set includes it. It includes it on one of the discs, on one of the last discs, so that's pretty cool. The Blu-ray set sadly does not. I don't know about the German set. The German set might have it, but the Mill Creek set doesn't. It just has the main series. But the nice thing about the Mill Creek set is it has all the movie-length episodes uncut. The 4K set does not. It has the movie-length episodes as the two-part syndicated versions, not the feature-length versions. Really, it should have included both. You know, I don't know why they didn't. But, whatever. I bought it twice. What's one more time, right? But that's going to have to wait, because that's a pricey set. There was a limited edition version of that set, which was apparently quite nice, but that's prohibitively expensive now, so I'll just be getting the slimmed down re-release. What was it? Oh, after you opened the Kung Fu movies yesterday, it's got me wanting to watch my sets again, thinking, I'm thinking Big Boss on the Arrow set, and then Big Boss 2 on the Iron Fist of Frenzy set. Boy, that's going to be quite a downgrade in quality. Going from, what was it, the 4K to Mill Creek, 1,000 kilobits per second bitrate DVD. Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, before I pass out, I'm thinking this isn't going to be like a big, super long stream, because I'm tired. But tomorrow, we'll see about starting a little earlier and get a few things in. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So I think I'm just going to double check, make sure I've grabbed everything. I think we have. Yeah, we did all of those. Those are all good. There's no horror stuff here, is there? No. Okay. I think that's it. And, well, if it turns out there's more, well, could always do more. Well, I know there's some more coming, but I don't know when. Why are you going over there, Church? Why are you going under the table where my chair is? Why? What? What are you doing? Yes? What are you looking at? What? What you doing? He freaked out. What's that?
Okay. Damn it. Sorry, so you're kind of right in the path here, buddy. Angle you guys down a bit, and you won't see so much of the light there. Okay. 10 to the dono goal. We're sitting at $10 to hit 5%. I'm just hoping. My own worst enemy. Christian Slater is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and played as a spy show. I do not remember that one. Must have missed it. Short-lived, I'm guessing. There's been a number of comedic takes on Jekyll and Hyde over the years. Not entirely unheard of. And Christian Slater, for a while there, was kind of doing some comedy films and vehicle type stuff, meaning a vehicle film, not a film about vehicles per se, but one designed to boost an actor or comedian's career by featuring them prominently. A vehicle film, a vehicle for them, to drive them to fame. Setting up the camera here. Okay. Ah, good. Okay, so where I move the table actually helps. So I can keep the videos there. And good. Now, just need something to focus on. Let's use this lovely umbrella set of Tank Girl that just came out. There. You can kind of see. I also have the Eureka set. I also have the Shout Factory set. And is there another one? There might be another one. I basically have every high-def version of Tank Girl ever. So... Oh, same year as the 08 Knight Rider. Yeah, I didn't really look at a lot of stuff that year. I think I was mostly just watching my DVDs at the time. But, okay. So, I'm going to zoom in. And focus. Because I do have some sci-fi things that we're gonna do. It sounds kind of like dystopian sci-fi. Okay, all right. Well, we'll just save that for the sci-fi. I mean, technically, Tank Girl is post-apocalyptic, so let's throw it in here. Let's throw it in here. Why not? And we'll bring Sons of Steel in as well. Umbrella. There we are. Hitch up the pants. Here. Okay. I think that's good. Are we recording? No. Now we're recording. Whoops. That's the one. Yep. Hold on. Yeah. So for Tank Girl, Shout Factory, Eureka, Vinegar Syndrome. In fact, I'm going to bring all these over. We're going to do like a mega Tank Girl video of Doom. I also used to have it on Laserdisc. I can't remember if I still have it. I'll have to check my Laserdisc thing. We like Tank Girl around here. So, greetings, remote tripod. And, yeah. I love that set. I was going to get it, but shot up. Which one? Which one? Which set? There you go. There is definitely some overlap in extras. Audio commentary, vintage featurette, theatrical trailer, interviews. Audio commentary, a new video essay, another new interview, archival interviews, new video essay, and archival stuff. So a lot of new stuff on the Eureka set. Vinegar Syndrome. Who fucking knows? They don't list anything on the back. You got to open it up. So, yeah. Anyway, it's one of their nice Vinegar Syndrome Ultra sets. And then Umbrella got... It looks like everything is taken from the Vinegar Syndrome set in terms of the on-disc extras. But there's also a 48-page book.
poster and lobby cards. So I don't know. It's really all about the packaging, I think. But I just kind of become a little obsessive about this because one of the reasons being, I have to turn the fucking fan on again. One of the reasons being Rachel Talalay has said that material exists that was shot for which she could, in theory, do her director's cut. So essentially, but the studios just refused to let her do that. She didn't get final cut on her movie. So even though the movie, we know is, quite fun and quite beloved, it is not what she wanted it to be. So I want to see like her full vision for the movie, and Tank Girl, because it's a wonderful character and a wonderful universe to play around in. If you've ever read any of the comics, I've got a collection of the early comics, like the first comics that came out, and they're great. I've reread them, dozens of times. But yeah, and Lori Petty was such a perfect choice. Honestly, like she really just nailed the character. But yeah. So anyway, we'll do that as part of the update. I think was it Eureka came out. Yeah. So yeah. We'll do that one to kind of lead into the umbrella section, I think. I have a little Tank Girl section in the middle. Why is it in with the horror movies? Because I consider post-apocalyptic stuff to be horror adjacent, so that's why. Oh, good to know. Nighttime Video says the 4K is the first time Rachel Talalay approved the restoration. It looks incredible. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. That's why I got the umbrella set. 4K. All the others are Blu-ray. So, yeah. Good reason to upgrade. I did that. Actually, a few of the things in this update are upgrades of that nature. Just old favorites that, I wanted to, get the better quality. As this Rachel was saying something similar with Freddy's Dead. Oh, really? There's a whole ending they shot with a kid being chosen by the Dream Demons, and there's some stills of it. Really? I forgot she directed that one too. Very divisive film in the franchise. I felt like it took a lot of inspiration from Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series. In particular, the whole idea of Springwood being a town that you can't escape once you're in. And they really kind of played that up in Freddy's Dead, which I thought was fun. And being a huge fan of Freddy's Nightmares, I liked that. Now, Freddy's Nightmares is cheesy as hell, but again, cheesy in ways that I love. So they apparently had very little to no supervision from the studio, so they just kind of did whatever the fuck they wanted for that show. Which is why it very much goes off the rails a lot. But to me, that's just part of what makes it fun, because they just didn't care. They just did whatever the hell they wanted. And sometimes it worked really well, sometimes not so much. But it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So the first time I actually saw Freddy's Dead was when I picked up the Laserdisc, and I had not seen it. In fact, the last one I had seen, I guess it was 4. Yeah, I had the first 4 on VHS. Watched the first 3 watched the first 4 as they came out. But I always watched them with friends, right? So it was like I had this tradition of seeing the latest Nightmare film with friends. And by the time 5 came out, I was living on my own in Selkirk, and I had friends there, obviously, but I just didn't get around to seeing it until quite some time later. I did record a bunch of stuff about the making of it, though, off TV at the time. So I do have some like fun little newscasts and interviews and stuff like that from TV. in particular talking about the censorship. So like right from the moment go, I knew there was an unrated version out there that we hadn't seen yet. And now, for the first time since the days of VHS and Laserdisc, we can actually see the unrated version of Nightmare 5 again on the new 4K set that just came out. So it's nice that they finally, I guess, found the elements to be able to restore that, because it's been kind of an enigma for Nightmare fans for a long time. I actually did own the Laserdisc, which was the unrated version, and I didn't realize how rare it was until long after I had sold it. I just assumed that that would be the version that would appear on the, the DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot, because that's typically what happens, is you get the extended cuts and stuff. But it unfortunately was one of those rare cases where they released it on VHS and Laserdisc, and then I guess lost the elements for the cut footage. So I'm assuming they found them, hence why we have it again on 4K. I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, they could just grab a nice rip of the Laserdisc and slot in the higher quality SD footage, higher quality than the VHS would be obviously. For the longest time, I was on the hunt for a Laserdisc rip of that. Archive.org is great for that. I found a lot of like rare old Laserdiscs there preserved, which is great. The other day, actually, I just found one was the very first commentary track ever. It was the 1984 Laserdisc release, if you're curious, of King Kong, the 1933 film. Yeah, I just found that out recently. I knew that Criterion was the first to do commentary tracks, and the first I'd ever heard of them was when I was collecting Laserdiscs. But I didn't know that. I didn't know what the very first one was. I never really thought to look it up. But yeah, 1984 Criterion release of King Kong. And there it was, with analog sound. And because they said they could only do commentaries with mono films, because they would basically put the mono movie sound on the left channel and the commentary on the right channel. So you could, switch back and forth between them, or you could play them both together using your, the balance on your stereo. So interesting. The version I have just has them as two separate audio tracks, but the digital version, I should say. But I found a bunch of stuff like that. Actually, there's like some old commentaries that just will never be re-released. So stuff like that I feel is important to preserve. Criterion, again, they released the first 3 James Bond films, I believe. And each one of them had a commentary track that, the studio or whatever basically forbade them from ever re-releasing. I guess because the commentaries were a little too frank and honest about the behind-the-scenes stories. So the studio was not thrilled with that. So that's why Criterion's never reissued them, and I guess never given the rights to release James Bond movies ever again. So those 3 are very sought after, but you can find them preserved on archive.org, which is good. So pretty neat. But while I did find a few, digitized versions of the VHS release of Nightmare 5, no sign of a nice high-quality Laserdisc script. Just nobody did it. Nobody thought to do it, I guess. Nobody had it to do it. Nobody who does those captures had it, but you know what I mean. But, yeah, so. But it's a moot point now. What was once highly sought after and rare is now widely available on the new 4K release. So, the unedited commentary on The Thing. That's actually another good example. Yeah, if you want the unedited commentary of The Thing, you need the old DVD release. Any of the old DVD releases up to the one that has the weird artwork of the screaming face, the white background, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, any of the DVD releases from then back will have the original commentary from the original Laserdisc release, the special edition Laserdisc release, which I used to have. All the contents on those DVDs are the same as what was on that Laserdisc release. So at least Universal's been consistent with that. But then when they put the Blu-ray out, they re-edited and heavily censored the commentary track, cutting out some, some colorful references that maybe wouldn't age so well. But and cutting out and other things like just political correctness gone mad, quite frankly. Both John Carpenter and Kurt Russell smoke, and John Carpenter is quite notorious for smoking heavily. And well, when Kurt Russell is in his presence, he also smokes heavily. So you hear them like lighting up and puffing and smoking and exhaling throughout the entire commentary. They're just like puffing away and having a grand old time. So someone whatever lucky intern got the job, went in and cut out every instance of smoking sounds, like lighters flicking, exhaling smoke, the sizzle of the cherry as they're taking a drag. All of that got cut out to like make it a non-smoke. You don't want to endorse smoking. Oh, fuck off. Just fuck off. All right? People smoke, okay? Some people smoke, some people don't. Who fucking cares? It means nothing. So, it's like, it's so hypocritical, honestly. Like, this is all like government political correctness shit, right? It's like, okay, then why are you taxing us? If you're so against smoking, why are you taxing us so heavily on it? Or booze, or, well, weed now as well. It's like, make up your fucking minds. You're either pro or against it. And they can't come out and say they're pro smoking now because, of course, that would be very politically incorrect. But it's just so ludicrous to me. It's like they make all this money off people smoking. And then they bitch and moan about it. It's like, okay. So where do we find the happy middle ground here? You don't want us to smoke, but you want to make all the money from everybody smoking. All right? Like, I mean, you're not going to erase nearly 100 years of film history where characters have been very visibly smoking and, sexualizing and glamorizing the act of smoking. Like, it's a part of our history. Stop erasing history. The worst I saw was, I knew we were headed downhill as a society when there was this picture of the absolutely stunningly beautiful Audrey Hepburn in her prime. And it was like just a beauty shot, a publicity shot. And she's sitting there with a cigarette holder and a, lit cigarette smoldering on the end. And, that was sold as prints and stuff that you could put up on your wall. But I remember seeing a print of that in recent years, and it had the cigarette holder cropped out. So I think you could still see the end of it, like between her fingers, but you couldn't see the cigarette, right? They cut that off. I'm like, are you fucking serious? That's a piece of Hollywood history right there. A screen legend. And you're all bent out of shape because she's holding a cigarette? Oh, no! Yeah, it was also the 60s. Everybody fucking smoked in the 60s. Like, I mean, right through to, like, the 90s, honestly. It's this whole anti-smoking crusade is not that old. But, it's great. I say, I mean, if you're going to go that route, just go all the way. Ban smoking. Make it not legal anymore. Stop selling them. Done. But they won't, because that's a big industry. Big money. It's a great movie, by the way, which my brother just showed me, starring Aaron Eckhart, called Thank You for Smoking, where he basically plays a tobacco lobbyist. And it's satirical, but it definitely rings very true as to how all of this stuff works behind the scenes, And it's very funny, but also very eye-opening. And it very much shows the hypocrisy in the smoking industry and the anti-smoking industry and just everything. It's all, as I get older, you start to see patterns in things. You will all reach this point in your lives if you haven't already. But you start to see patterns in things, and one of the big ones is that in politics and business and all the things that shape the world we live in and the way we think about things, the pattern is this. We see the bad guys, and then the good guys who fight. I'm very generalizing here, but this pattern is consistent. The good guys who make their platform fighting the bad guys. They're all bad guys. Every single one of them. Nobody is in any of those industries for any good reason. There's a few. But sadly, not enough to make a difference. And not enough to really properly fight back. So that's why we're seeing evil winning at the moment. Because these things happen in cycles. Evil will rise. Good will triumph over evil. Things will be good for a while. But then evil will rise to power again through, propaganda and, advertising and brainwashing the masses through mass media and whatnot. Stop watching the mass media. I'm dead serious about that. It is nothing but propaganda. Right across the board. I'm talking news. Like, watch the TV shows. But even the TV shows have propaganda in them. But anyway, I digress. That's a whole other subject. But that's the pattern. It's like you got your good guys, your bad guys, and they're just constantly pushing, pulling back and forth. And throughout it all, you'll see all this bluster and all these big promises for change and, everything. But it never fucking changes. The only thing that's going to make anything change is to just tear the whole goddamn motherfucking system down. Just burn it to the ground and start over. Build a new system where this kind of corruption and, institutional, organized evil can no longer take a foothold. What that system would be, I don't know. They didn't come up with the current system overnight. It took decades. But it's funny, we celebrate the 80s. The 80s were the age of excess. And that age led to what we're in now, the shit we're in now. The whole trickle-down economics, the Reaganomics, all that bullshit. That started when I was a teenager, and it has culminated in where we're at now. So now we got the bad guys in power, and the good guys are trying to stop them. The good guys will stop them. I don't know how much actual justice we'll see, but we're going to see the power balance shift like it always fucking does. And then things will be nice again for a little while. So, it just goes around and around and around in circles. You can see the fucking patterns. Clear as day. Just look at your history books. Ugh. Well, so glad I filmed all this in 8K. Ugh. Let's start a new file, shall we? Got a little distracted, folks. I don't even know how we got on that subject. Welcome to the way my brain works. Follow the money. Well, yeah, follow the money. And you know what you're going to discover when you follow the money? That it leads to everyone. It leads to every single person in the 1%. All of them. Even the ones that claim to be the good guys. Like I say, there are some genuine good guys, and there are some genuinely pure fucking evil people. No question about that. The problem is the ones that are genuinely good have their hands tied. They mean well, they try to do well, but they just can't break through the system enough to be able to make any real changes, you know. Yeah, you either die a hero or become the villain. Exactly. That's a great quote. Oh, that's what it was. It started with the unedited commentary, well, just censorship in Hollywood and commentaries and shit. That's what it was. Wow, what a tangent. You're welcome. You know, it's crazy. There was a mild-mannered humanities prof before becoming what we all know him to be. Huh? Ooh. Oh, and Great Richard also said, I love Malcolm McDowell in most things. He brings a bonkers energy. Yeah, for sure. I've got quite a lot of movies that he's in. I just recently picked up Caligula, which is a pretty infamous one that he was in. Yeah, I love Clockwork Orange. He's been so much. He was in Wing Commander 3 and 4 as Admiral Tolwyn. And what the hell? Well, Tank Girl, of course, and I don't know. Just he's been a lot. It's been a lot. Always a delight. Love Malcolm. You know what I need to pick up, and I keep forgetting to pick up, is Time After Time. He's in that one too. One of the few times he plays a good guy. Oh, Wes. Sorry, I mean Wes Craven. Yeah. Well, I mean that's sometimes how it goes, you know. And I mean, you watch him in interviews; he was like the most chill guy, you know. But yeah. But yeah, Time After Time, where Malcolm McDowell actually plays H.G. Wells. And the idea is that when H.G. Wells wrote about the time machine, it wasn't just that he wrote about it, he actually invented a working time machine. And then it turns out that one of his friends, played by David Warner, was actually Jack the Ripper. And the reason Jack the Ripper was never found was because he hopped into Wells' time machine and fast-forwarded to 1979, then modern times. So H.G. Wells follows on after him. I can't remember how, if the time machine was gone. Maybe it had a fast return switch. I don't know. But follows after him and tries to follow him into the present. And he meets up with Mary Steenburgen. Yes, Clara from the Back to the Future movies and animated series. But yeah, so kind of a rare heroic turn for Malcolm in that one. And also rare romantic leading man role, where he isn't like some heinous sexual deviant, such as you know, in as Alex in the Clockwork Orange, or Caligula as Caligula. But yeah, he's great. Very versatile actor, not afraid to take chances. They made a TV series of what? The time-traveling adventures of H.G. Wells? Well, if they did, I don't think it's related to the movie. Might just be a similar idea. Time After Time. Are you sure about that? Because, I mean, the movie's not that popular. It's like one of those hidden gems that most people don't even know about. Even when it came out, I don't think it did terribly well.
So I can't see them doing a TV series of it. Might just be, was it based on that movie though? Like, how have I never heard of this? Well, I gotta look it up now. Let's see. There's actually a lot of things called Time After Time. Is this the one? 2017? Oh, hey, look at that. Hold on. How have I never heard of this? Hold on a second. Can we, hold on. Go, here? No. Here. Oh, my God. Hold on. Okay. And if we do this, there we go. Yeah, there it is. The Adventures of Young H.G. Wells and His Time Machine. You see, I only lasted 12 episodes. Yeah, I mean, no wonder. It came and went very quickly. Jack the Ripper. Wow. Well, shit. This completely slipped under my radar. Based on Time After Time. Nicholas Meyer had no involvement. Nicholas Meyer, did he direct he directed some Star Trek, didn't he? Yeah. Star Trek, yeah, he did Star Trek 6. Hold on, directing. Oh my God, he's done so many different things. I just want his directing credits. No. Director. Star Trek 6 and Star Trek 2. And, oh, Time After Time is his directorial debut. Very nice. And The Day After. Well, holy shit. And an episode of Fairy Tale Theater, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. Volunteers, I remember that. Shit, I've seen darn near this guy's entire filmography. Okay. Very nice. Though I mainly know him from the 2 Star Treks that he did. Cool. Really, Church? You're gonna... What? What? Why is... Oh my God. Oh. What? Fuck. Sorry. Crashed into the camera. Why is the PlayStation updating? Hold on. Okay, go. Oh, wait a minute. That's the PlayStation 3. Oh, shit. I don't think I have a controller charged for that. Hold on a sec. I didn't even know that was on right now. No, see, I thought it was just going to be something, there we go. Like with the same title, but not necessarily anything to do with the movie. So, kitties. Oops. I don't know what just fell. Oh, like that.
Really, Church? You can lick yourself right now. Time is it? God, it's almost 4 in the morning. I don't think we're gonna do any filming tonight, guys. I am like just dead to the world now. But yeah, we could do some tomorrow. So I don't fall for waiting so long. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get a second wind in a few minutes. I mean, I did have a coffee and a bunch of vitamins and some water, so, and some food before streaming. Made a couple of breakfast sandwiches. I have a homemade a recipe for making my own breakfast sausages, like breakfast sausage rounds. So I use those to make breakfast sandwiches. And we just got, basically just do a sausage round and then a fried egg and some cheese. And then I put it on just a nice soft hamburger bun. And then this time around I put some mayo on the bun. It was quite good. So get that second wind. Cool whip. Cool whip. Say whip. Whip. Say cool whip. Cool whip. Such a great bit. No filming is okay. I'm glad you're streaming anyway. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm still going to try to do something, even if it's not particularly productive. I mean, that's fine. We have had quite a lovely conversation tonight. This is what I was wanting to get for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger on. Got I, Claudius, starring everybody who was anybody in the 70s. Brian Blessed, John Hurt, Derek Jacobi, Cyan Phillips, David Robb, Patrick Stewart, Fiona Walker. Yeah. I think there's a few more famous people in it, too. Yeah, so it's Brian Blessed as Augustus, John Hurt as Caligula, Derek Jacobi as Claudius, Cyan Phillips as Livia, David Robb as Germanicus, Patrick Stewart as Sejanus, and Fiona Walker as Agrippina. Very cool. There was a Blu-ray released that is no longer available, which supposedly had an extended version of this, but yeah, it was a TV miniseries from 1976, BBC production, and one of several British shows I picked up in recent months, and I still have to do the update of all of them. So there'll be like a big British comedies update or just British stuff update, I think. Yeah, there's a few that are kind of peripherally related to things like Red Dwarf or Doctor Who, so I'll do separate videos for those. But what's that one? Ah, yes, The Woman in Black. I need to get back to that. Yeah. Oh, so I might just crawl into bed and read. I've been enjoying the Where tetralogy by Rudy Rucker, which is a cyberpunk series of 4 books written over the course of about 20 years, starting in the 80s and then finishing up in the early 2000s, I think. I believe Rudy is retired from writing now. Last I checked, I did stumble across his Facebook page recently, and he just does like artwork and just kind of chills in his country home now. But this series of books he did was just amazing, and it deals with like artificial intelligence and like actual proper artificial intelligence, like sentient robots and stuff, not this large language model bullshit that we call AI right now. And artificial life forms, not like kind of going in a Blade Runner-y direction where it goes beyond just robots and is more organic and stuff like that. So it's really quite interesting seeing how this future human society evolves over time. It takes place over the course of about 50 years across the series, and follows like several generations of interconnected characters, and seeing how that evolves, but around the evolution of the robots, or the the artificial intelligences, and how they are initially antagonistic, but then eventually, kind of learn to coexist, sometimes in tense ways, but it's really interesting stuff, and it takes like sort of cyberpunk genre in different directions. So it's 4 books called Software, Wetware, Freeware, and finally Realware. So there is a single volume that has all 4 books. I will say this, though, and this goes just generally speaking for cyberpunk literature, because until recent years, cyberpunk was primarily a literary genre. Mainly because a lot of it, when you read it, it reads very well and you can visualize things very well, but to film it, especially this one, I think would be really difficult to film, because in later iterations, the robots become more organic, and they are basically shapeshifters. They can change their shape into whatever they want. Sometimes for practical purposes, sometimes for more just personal preference, or for different tasks or what have you. And it's really interesting how they go into it and what the philosophies of the individual robots are regarding what shapes they choose to be, and when and why and how and whatnot. But so that reads very well, but I can imagine what a nightmare it would be to film something like that, because some of these characters take on so many different shapes. They're just constantly changing based on the situation, and is to the point where it's sometimes even difficult to picture, because they're flipping through the different shapes so fast. But you just kind of go with the flow. I don't know, it's a really hard one to describe, but I've been really enjoying it a lot. I haven't been able to put it down, so I'm almost finished book 3, and then I'll be probably just jumping right into the last one and finishing it up, because I'm now very invested in all of these characters. So I love that stuff. But I will say this, a lot of cyberpunk stuff, be wary if you are the least bit prudish. Most of the big cyberpunk stuff has pretty explicit sex in it as well. The future is horny, folks. Very horny. But and I mean, as with all new technology, the first thing humans wants to know is like, oh, that's really cool, but can I fuck it? And well, that's kind of where they go in a lot of these. I mean, it's not like they're freaking porn books or anything about that, but no, they have sex scenes, and the sex scenes tend to be quite explicit sometimes. But depending on your grandmother, it'll either turn her blue hair white again, or she'll be like, putting it on her bedside table. Anyway, I have been enjoying it. It's a great story, great characters, lots of fun, and presents a future vision of Florida that I kind of wish was closer to reality, quite frankly. Yeah. The Florida we actually got in this timeline ain't too great, is it? Although it does provide a lot of meme material. Florida man strikes again. Dun da da. Florida man. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, no, it was Eric Kripke made something similar called Timeless also. Are we still talking about Time After Time? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for pretty much anything time travel. I've always been a time travel nut. I mean, my Doctor Who shelf. you know, it all kind of started there. But actually, no, it didn't start there. It started a little before that, I think. I can't remember. I did see the old movie, like the old, what is it, 60s movie adaptation of The Time Machine. And, yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. Ha! But, yeah, definitely one I'd like to pick up for the collection at some point. I know Warner Archive put out Time After Time on Blu-ray. So that's one I definitely need to pick up at some point. Really like that one. I mean, David Warner as Jack the Ripper. Come on. He's always a delight. Was just watching Twin Peaks, actually, with Rose. Her first time watching it. And David Warner shows up in that at one point as a baddie. And yeah, alongside Dan O'Herlihy, actually, who you probably remember best as well, two things: the old man in RoboCop, and the baddie in the Mask Factory in Halloween 3. Yeah, so he's in Twin Peaks as well. And great to see those two having at least one scene together in that. But yeah, Rose has never seen Twin Peaks, so it's her first time viewing, and we've been enjoying it immensely. I need to do another video with her talking about it, because I can't remember where we left off. We did, like, where we left off with the videos, because I know we did, I think, a review, like, sort of getting her first impression thoughts when we finished season 1. And then we haven't really done any content about season 2 yet, so yeah. Ear hairs suck. Just want to put that out there. Yeah, I refuse to be one of those old men that have like a freaking giant burr of ear hair in both ears or up his nose or anything. So yeah, like I pluck that shit. I do not give it a chance to grow in. It's like, nope. Also, they're just irritating. Like the little tickly hairs, you know, it's like so fucking annoying. It's like, is there a way I can just have laser hair removal for my ear? Like the joys of getting older, folks. Oh. Barring, you know, that random bus hitting you in the middle of the street, you'll all get there eventually. Yep, you'll get there eventually. Timeless starts with the crash of the Hindenburg. Yes, well, I mean, there's been a lot of things like that. There's, I remember the Time Tunnel TV series from the 60s, where they just gloriously ignore the laws of causality and go back in time to change historical events every week. And yeah, I think the first episode, they prevent the crash of the Titanic. It's like, well, you can't do that. you can't rewrite history. Not one line. So. Crazy. I'm fading. I might actually just watch a movie or read some more. Oh, I haven't watched this yet. I should probably watch this. The War Between the Land and the Sea, which at the moment is the last Hooniverse thing we've gotten to date. So it's the return of the Silurians and the Sea Devils, and starring the fellow who played Alonzo. What's his name? Russell Tovey. Yeah, I like him. He was in an episode of, he was in the Hound of the Baskervilles episode of Sherlock as well. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. A lot of people didn't like Sherlock. I've never understood why. I thought it was a fun show. you know, and it gave the world Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, you know. I mean, no, it wasn't the first thing either of them had done, but it was certainly the thing that put them both on the map for most of the world. You know what I mean? Like, great stuff. I don't know. Laser hair, all hair removed except for the ears. Well, I don't need that. I don't mind hair in some places, just not in places where it is inconvenient or annoying. You know. Anyway, I think I'm going to head off, guys. I am beat. Sorry. Sometimes that happens. We start too late, and I'm too damn tired to do anything. But again, at least we have everything set up. And now that, you know, I'm kind of organized, we should be able to, you know, start blowing through things a little more quickly. I'll try to start early. Well, I didn't start as early today, mainly because we had the screening, and then I was bummed that nobody came to the screening, so then I putzed about just doing other things. But then Cass actually came back to streaming. He did his first stream. Yeah, see, D-Man is on the Sherlock train, for sure. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a fun, you know, modernization of the core ideas of Sherlock Holmes, you know. And, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and then I saw that Doodly Conduct, longtime friend of mine dating back to the Stickam days, he was streaming. I didn't know he'd started streaming. So he was playing some Dead by Daylight, so I watched a bit of that and, you know, touched base with him. And then Cass, of course, you know, I wanted to support the stream because he's my bro, literally. So I hung out there for a bit. And, yeah, and then after that, well, after Cass's stream, I went and had a shower, made some food, and then I saw Doodly Conduct on, so I touched base with him. It's like, 'cause I like to boost my friends, right? So when I see them on, I have to at least say hi. And then inevitably that ends up being an hour, you know? So by the time all was said and done, when did we start today? Like freaking 2 a.m. almost. So yeah, it's been kind of a crazy day. And then just dealing with a boutique label that does not charge in advance for pre-orders, and unexpectedly he was hit with a big fat charge on my account, which bounced, by the way, because there wasn't the funds there to cover it. But I think they may have already shipped the package off. So PayPal is going to get on my case about that bill until it's covered. Fuck. Just fuck everything. Fuck it all. Anyway, it may not have been shipped out yet. Maybe it was. I don't know. Their customer service is kind of shit. It's like, I need an answer immediately. Okay, we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. And by then it's too late, you know? Anyway, mental note, never placing a pre-order with that company again. Will only buy things that are currently in stock so that they charge right away when I actually have the money. I suck at budgeting. I'm not going to pre-order something and then make sure I have the money 6 months ago. Oh, sure, in theory. But, you know, I'm not going to, like, set money aside for 6 months. That's just not going to happen. So, whatever. Anyway, so I think what really needs to happen is I just need to have so much money coming in that I can't possibly spend it all. It's just like an avalanche of money that I'll literally get bored with buying things because it's just so much money that, well, I already kind of have everything I want. So, I mean, what else am I going to buy? It's like maybe a second house. Yeah, I doubt we'll ever be at that level, but yeah. You got your sets of Sherlock signed? That's cool. By the big two. And greetings, Big Bongo. Bongo. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope life's been treating you well. But I expect we'll be seeing a lot of folks returning to the fold since we're getting back into the regular streaming, which is good. And I expect we're going to see a lot of new people too. I have a good feeling about the latter half of this year, because that's when I'm going to be, ideally launching all of the new stuff. So, yeah, I'm getting excited. I wish I could tell you more, but you'll know when the time is right, and then you will be excited too. All I can say is set aside at least a few bucks, because not just for donos, but I mean for merchandise products that I am creating of an entertainment variety that I think a lot of you will enjoy. So bear that in mind. Those things will be announced around the time of the Halloween special, so which will come out before Halloween, I promise. So it'll be like between two Halloweens. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, or day, or afternoon, or whatever time it is for you, wherever you are. Marvelous! We've had a marvelous stream, even if it wasn't terribly productive. Anyway, catch you tomorrow for Fright Night Friday. Well, that was a perfectly timed Zoom. When we will definitely film the horror update. And maybe start tackling some of the other stuff as well. Alrighty. See you then. Until then, thanks for watching. And sayonara.